Let me now take you to the United States of America. There have been 3 terrible incidents and right on the new year. 3 major incidents in different parts of the country, many killed and injured. Let's begin first with New Orleans and then Las Vegas and then Queens. They were hit by deadly attacks. I want to take a look at one by one each of these incidents. New Orleans is where the world woke up, where now the police is probing a suspected link between the killer driver who has served in the US Army and allegedly has links to the ISIS. Now, the driver was shot dead eventually by the cops. This was after he had rammed into a crowd of innocent revelers on 1st January after midnight and then got down to shoot at the people as well. Therefore, around 15 people have been confirmed killed, over 30 injured. From the vehicle, an ISIS flag has been recovered. There are weapons and explosive devices. But the investigators are also trying to find out if this was a coordinated terror plot. Cops are trying to also piece together his motives. Remember, someone who's served in the US Army and now allegedly has ISIS terror network links as well. And because of the deaths that have come in, it's been a big shock to the American society.
The killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years. He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill, The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well. I directed my team to make sure every resource is made available to federal, state, and local law enforcement, to complete the investigation in New Orleans quickly, and to make sure there's no remaining threat to the American people.
We recognize we got a problem right here, right? We're going to fix it. It is going to be a top priority as we go into the Super Bowl in Mardi Gras, and the solution that we're going to come up with is going to be a permanent one. It's going to be placed into the standard operating procedure of having major events and securing that quarter.
So we have been aware of the baller situation for a long time, and we did indeed harden those target areas where the ballers are. We had patrol cars out there as a hard target, as well as with barriers. Now, I want to share with y'all, if you did not know, that this particular terrorist drove around onto the sidewalk and got around the hard target, where he did have a car there, we had barriers there, we had officers there, and they still got around. Now, the wedges that you see out there as well, we knew that that had malfunction problems. And I want you to understand, let's say we put the wedge up and it got stuck. There is no way that ambulance could get in or out, people couldn't get in and out, so we knew that these were malfunction. So we did indeed have a plan, but the terrorist defeated it.
Just imagine this. There are people with their family members out on the streets celebrating. This was in New Orleans, French Quarter, the arrival of 2025, and full-on celebration mode turning into this horrific tragedy. 15 people dead, 30 injured because this driver deliberately swerved around and rammed into the crowd, then got down to shoot as many people as he possibly could before he was shot dead by the cops.
Gunshots, panic, and a horrifying scene. A New Year's Day celebration turned into carnage on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. A pickup truck driving at a high speed plowed into a crowd gathered to celebrate the New Year. The driver rammed straight into scores of revelers, unleashing violence that left the city shaken. Police returned fire. The suspect was shot dead, but not before the attacker got out of his truck and fired at people, ensuring maximum casualties. Nearly a dozen people were killed on the spot and 30 others sustained injuries, including 2 police officers.
What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy. Stay clear from Bourbon Street, 8 blocks around. Very active, and again, a unified command is in place right now.
This horrifying attack could have been a lot worse, as officials confirmed that improvised explosive devices were also found in the area.
This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is there improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
The monster attacker clearly wanted to ensure that he could kill as many people as possible, first by ramming into the crowd and then firing at them.
Last night we had over 300 officers out here. And because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
The French Quarter, where the carnage happened, is known for its LGBTQ events and drag cabarets, and had therefore drawn massive crowds for New Year, making it a target for this senseless act. The incident bears chilling similarities to a car ramming attack in Magdeburg, Germany, just days ago. That attack left 5 people dead and over 200 injured. As investigators work to uncover the motive behind the New Orleans attack, the city is left mourning. Families are grappling with sudden loss, and survivors are haunted by the events of the day. Bureau Report, India Today.
And if that wasn't enough, barely hours after that, after New Orleans, another attack took place right outside the Trump Hotel. This was a Tesla Cybertruck. Exploded, killing 1 person, injuring 7 others. Now, we are told, according to reports surfacing, that firework mortars and camp fuel canisters were found stuffed into the back of the vehicle. Now, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has said this is an act of terror and has alleged there could be a link between this explosion of the Cybertruck and the New Orleans attack. Now, he's saying there should be investigation because, interestingly, both the trucks were rented from Turo. He's also said that the explosion was caused not just by the vehicle simply, but by some of the fireworks or explosive devices carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck as well. Now, incumbent President of the USA, Joe Biden, has put out a statement and has confirmed that FBI is investigating this incident.
We're tracking the explosion of a Cybertruck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Law enforcement and the intelligence community are investigating this as well, including whether there's any possible connection with the attack in New Orleans. Thus far, there's nothing to report on that score at this time. I directed my team to make sure every resource is made available to federal, state, and local law enforcement to complete the investigation in New Orleans quickly and to make sure there's no remaining threat to the American people.
2024 Tesla Cybertruck pulled into the area valet of the Trump International Hotel. Very quickly thereafter that, the driver, who was the sole occupant of the truck, we saw what looked like maybe some sort of smoke, and then the truck exploded. So the individual that was in that truck is obviously deceased, still in the truck as we speak here today. There is no further threat to the community as I sit here today. And I just want to make sure that our community understands we believe this to be an isolated incident, and it is now over as far as the danger.
And when Americans were already grappling with 2 incidents of that nature that happened, another report then surfaced of incident in Queens. This was in New York. At least 11 people have been shot at. There was this mass firing at a nightclub in New York. The police have not yet disclosed the motive or the details of the incident as much. The incident occurred close to midnight. Gunfire erupted near the nightclub.
I feel like a news reporter now.